Okay, Hamster here with another bedroom feminist. Now, her video is 25 minutes long. And, well, we just can't do that because pretty much the first half of it is the same crap we've all heard a million times. Feminism is empowering and it's for men and women and the dictionary definition and every cliche you could possibly come up with. So this lady's name is Muse, and actually she's very pleasant. That means she's a very dangerous feminist. No. She's married, has a couple of kids. Something which, I can't remember, was it Julie Bindel that said feminism, marriage? No. See, it depends on the flavor of feminism, doesn't it? So she has some tips for us here to, I don't know, let's find out.
The first thing is to love yourself.
Love yourself. Oh, we start out with a bunch of woo.
No matter your sex.
Oh, thank you. Men can love themselves too. Whoa, thank you.
Male, female, however you identify.
I identify as someone who is almost out of beer, but I love myself.
Just love yourself.
Yeah, I do.
I feel like that, when you can love yourself and you put some love inward,
woo,
then you can love outwards.
Oh, God. You've been reading too many of those crystal incense books or something.
A lot of times when you're angry and you're fighting people and you're really just not developing or growing.
Isn't that interesting? This is a video about feminism. You might want to look in the mirror, Amanda.
There's some stuff going on.
Yes, there is.
It's a little self-reflection, you feel me?
When we complain about feminists, we're not talking about you. We're not talking about people who believe in equal rights for everybody. Most people do. Good thing you have them here in the Western world, eh? She's from Canada, by the way. We're talking about the crazy, radical, nose-pierced, funky dyed hair people that protest men's rights movements that are actually violent in some cases. You see, there's a bunch of different flavors of feminism, Amanda. Maybe you don't see those, or you do, and you just, it's not really feminism. No true feminist would do that, right?
Number 2 is share equal responsibilities. So if you are in an office space and you find that the women are the only ones tidying up the kitchen and putting the dishes in the dishwasher.
Well, I don't agree with this story, but this is good.
Make a point.
You're not going to fucking believe this.
I have done that.
Yes.
I had an issue with a man who would just put his dishes in the sink.
Yeah, we have little signs that say, rinse your dishes, put them in the dishwasher, okay? Nobody has a problem with that.
And when I approached him,
and by the way, there are very few women where I work. It's somehow men figured it out all by themselves.
I did approach him directly. Are we surprised? No. He told me that his wife does that at home.
Well, maybe she does. So what?
And I said, well, aren't you lucky? But you're not at home. So you take those dishes that you just used and you open the dishwasher, my friend, and you put them in there.
You go, girl. So far, so good. The guy was being a lazy slob. He left his dishes out, assuming someone else would pick them up, and you told him he should put his dishes in the dishwasher himself. I think that's fantastic. You took initiative. You go, girl. Strong and powerful. You don't need a fish. You don't need a bicycle. But what did you do next?
And then I brought it to HR.
You brought it to HR.
Okay, so share equal responsibilities. I do the garbage in my house. I do what needs to be done.
You want a medal for taking the garbage out? That's so hard. It really is.
There are certain things that Dean does better.
Like putting nails in the walls for pictures and
like
stuff?
Like hanging photos on the wall. And he likes to paint, and I'm not really into that.
I bet you pick the color, though, don't you? Don't you?
But I'll clean.
You supervise as well, I bet.
I'll do what needs to be done. I'll cook dinner. He'll cook dinner.
Great. This is the way it should be. This is absolutely, I agree. Everybody should pitch in, help with the family, make sure the kids are doing okay, and share some of these tasks, which nobody really wants to do. But in order to keep a household up, you gotta do it.
I'll do the garbage. He'll do the garbage.
Ooh.
He'll hold the babies in the shower when they're sick.
That's...
It's all a balance.
It's probably his idea because they're puking everywhere, and it's probably easier to slip. I don't know.
And that kind of thing is also a great way to demonstrate to your children how to share responsibilities. It's not just mom who cleans. It's not just mom who cooks, and vice versa.
I think it's a great idea. But somebody not putting their dishes in the dishwasher at work. You called HR. You tried to get him fired. Isn't that just a little bit overboard, Amanda? Isn't it?
And number 3 would be to raise your children to believe in gender equality.
That's fantastic.
We teach our kids to do lots of things. In fact, last night on my Insta stories, Jack was helping, rub all the seasoning into the pork chops and the potatoes, and Esme was getting in there too. And Esme will do things that are considered like boy jobs, like she'll help Daddy with tools and hammers and whatever.
Your young man is going to have to learn how to cook for himself, because men typically, we got to do that.
If Jack wants to
just saying,
dance and take a dance class, he can do that.
Sure.
It seems simple at this age, but it is those simple things that add up.
It's perfectly acceptable stuff here, what you're talking about, Amanda. So I don't disagree with this.
To allow them to believe that both sexes can do anything.
Yeah. The privilege of living in Western society. In a nice Western country called Canada. You can do anything you want, ladies.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
So it's just important to start those conversations.
Oh, Jesus. Conversations.
We read books about powerful women. Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls is an amazing book.
That's good. Yeah, there are a lot of powerful women in the world. A lot of very successful throughout history. Yeah.
I've talked about that plenty. Actually,
even today, in this oppressive patriarchy, there are successful women. I know.
It's a really good Christmas gift idea if you have any young women in your life.
Yeah.
And I read them to both kids, and we talk about amazing things that girls have done.
And amazing things that men have done. I mean, humans are pretty cool.
And it's not to say that men haven't done amazing things.
Well, we have. We have.
But men have also had their time.
We've had our time. Yeah, inventing stuff like cars and cell phones and, shit like that.
Men have had their moments.
Yeah. Throughout history, men have definitely had their moments. We even invented the washing machine.
Men do not need that much more.
I mean, we don't want you to have to go to the creek to wash our clothes, woman.
Celebration?
You could be making me a sandwich instead of that. Just hit the button and give me a beer.
Explain that, because that can come off as quite negative.
Yeah, I'm glad you have at least a little self-awareness.
But I think what I'm trying to say is, it's the time to celebrate things that are female.
Why isn't it time to just celebrate humans? We're a pretty cool species. We can be bad, but we can be really good, too. Why not both? No. We gotta just, the women.
And they can be celebrated.
Yeah, you want a medal for taking out the garbage.
It's okay to feel things deeply. Being emotional has
woo alert.
often been like a female thing.
Woo.
Like you're being too girly or whatever.
There are times for emotions. Men are very emotional. We just don't cry in public.
Buck up kind of thing. No, my son is allowed to have deep emotions. And
great, he's a child. He's a 2-year-old baby.
To express them.
That's how children... God.
Do you know what I mean? Number 4, maintain positive equality at work.
Positive equality at work. What would be equality to you, Amanda? Let me guess, 50% of the staff be women.
I spoke about the man that had an issue with the dishwasher.
And you reported him to human resources, trying to get him fired.
Speak up about these things.
Trying to make him lose his job.
If you see a woman who maybe isn't getting the same opportunity as a man in your group, and she's just as qualified, speak up.
No, absolutely not. Women are strong and powerful. They can speak for themselves. And besides, they'd accuse me of mansplaining if I tried to speak for her, and then I would wind up in HR. Do you understand? You can't win, Amanda.
That's what this thing is for.
No, I will not.
Do you know what I mean? You can't go through life with blinders, man.
And we have a video here with a feminist. You can't go through life with blinders on. Oh my God.
Just think of what an impact you could have on a person if you uplifted and supported,
Yeah,
Number 5, empower women.
Oh God. Empower women to do what, Amanda? Could you give us a clue?
I remember reading something that said, if you spent 30 minutes, a coffee date with a young woman as a female entrepreneur, creator, whatever.
Men can't do that anymore. Me Too has seen to that.
And you spend time with a younger woman.
So they're not going to get mentored anymore. Kind of shot yourself in the foot there, didn't you?
And you can share some insights into maybe how you got to where you are.
If you're a chick, you can do it, though. I mean, well, maybe.
Give them some encouragement. Just listen to them. Let them be heard.
I'm sure they'll find something.
Impact their life forever.
What have you done lately for that person? Why don't you tell us about your last coffee date, empowering women? Amanda?
Like a one coffee date.
I bet you really don't have a real-life example to share with us, do you?
What? Is that not mind-blowing?
It is. It is.
To think like
I shouldn't have to do it, but if you do, not if you're a man though.
the impact we can have on people.
What impact have you had today on people?
It's kind of amazing.
It is amazing.
So if you've got women in your life that need a little bit of encouragement, maybe they have a business idea, they're just feeling a little bit apprehensive about taking the leap.
What about the men in your life that might be apprehensive about taking the leap? Should we help them too?
Encourage them.
Wait, no. Men have had their time, haven't they?
Number 6 is to recognize inequality globally.
Okay, this I obviously agree. There's a lot of really shitty places in the world where both men and women have a hard time. But we're not going to talk about the men, are we?
I touched on that briefly about how we, depending where you're watching from, can be really in a place of privilege. To recognize that privilege.
Yes.
And to appreciate that that is not the same, that way of life is not the same everywhere.
I think people know that, Amanda, but thanks for pointing out the obvious.
That some women are just trying to get to school.
Yeah, some men, too, in some of these third world shitholes.
Some women don't get to go to school because they get their periods.
Some men don't get to go to school because they have to work the farm to help feed the family.
Some women have to stay home. Some girls have to stay home.
Some boys can't go to school because they have to go out and earn money to support the family. But that doesn't matter, right?
To help their mothers raise the children.
And the boys are out working.
Okay?
Yeah, let's not talk about that, though.
Basic.
Yeah, that's basic.
Just be aware. Educate yourself.
Like I said, there's so many cliches in here. Educate yourself. Let's have a conversation. I mean, it's...
Number 7.
God.
That's 7? Yes.
Wow.
Speak out. Go to rallies.
Well, let's talk about the plight of the third world women who can't go to school. And let's go stand somewhere and hold a sign up. You see, I'm just doing something.
Support women.
Oh, my God.
Fight against gender discrimination.
If you want to fight against gender discrimination in the Congo, maybe you ought to protest at the Congolese embassy. You won't even bother doing that, will you? No.
I think it was earlier this year. I took my daughter, actually a bunch of my friends and our kids.
I bet it was just a fun day.
We went to a rally to empower women.
In the Congo? No.
To speak up, to fight for women.
In Saudi Arabia? No.
And we held signs.
In Iraq or Iran?
And I think mine said, feminists raising feminists.
Wow, that really helped the plight of women in Iran to be able to go to school, have a job, and drive a car. Wow, you are just brave, woman.
And Esme, Jack was too little to come. He would never have walked.
I would hope if he had any sense in his brain, he would say, Mommy, I'm not going to that. It's stupid.
But he might want to go this year.
I'm sure he will, because Mommy will force him to.
And then Esme's, what did hers say? Hers was...
I am not for sale.
Something about saying no to marriage because we had just read about a girl who had escaped child marriage.
Where is that happening? Amanda, where are these things happening? Are they happening in Canada or the Western world? I don't think so.
And we're like a child.
Yeah. Some countries, it's still a practice. It's horrible. What are you going to do about that as a feminist?
Like an 8-year-old child was going to marry a man.
Yeah. I wonder which religion supports that sort of thing. Who? Anyone? Bueller?
Because that's the way things are done in that country.
Oh, that's right, evil Christians. Yeah, right.
What? I don't know.
What are you going to do to change a religion that believes that? Hold a sign up in the street? Is that going to work?
Maybe we should think of some feminist things.
Maybe you should go to Saudi Arabia and help the women there.
And help support those people.
Yeah. Or Sudan.
So there's lots going on.
Notice none of these countries are, I really can't even say it because...
Beyond a t-shirt slogan.
You know, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 8. Vote for women.
No, I won't. I will vote for somebody who is qualified that I believe has the same political beliefs I have, regardless of what they have hanging or not between their legs.
Obviously believe what they're saying, make sure they're a good candidate, but politically speaking,
yes,
support and encourage women to go to the table. I mean, we have seen so many changes, and specifically, in the States, it's been very documented.
Yeah, but we have still such a long way to go. Isn't that right, Amanda?
But there are so many more women getting into positions of power. We've seen, I think it's New Zealand. Is that the Prime Minister?
Yes, and Queen Elizabeth II has been Queen of England since the 50s. Theresa May, the current Prime Minister. By God, there's females all over the place in power. All over the world. Crazy.
who was breastfeeding her baby at meetings, but
Yeah, something women have been doing since the beginning of time.
basically allowing women to
Give her a medal.
be at the table,
Yeah.
get them a spot,
No, they have to earn their spot, just like men.
have them, be part of your team. When
If they're qualified to be on my team, I will put them on my team. I don't care what they have between their legs. But you do, don't you, Amanda?
you're hiring teams, I mean, I'm going off on the work thing, but like
Yeah.
when you hire people,
Yes.
be
Do we look at the color of their skin and what they have in their pants? I wouldn't.
purposeful, be conscious
But you do.
of who you're hiring.
Yeah.
Is your whole staff like white males?
Boom. Bingo. Link below, you can watch the rest. It's a bunch of woo from now on. But she's not a crazy feminist, and she does have some good points. But reporting the guy to HR for a dirty dish. James Maxwell, thank you for listening.